Okay, but that's okay. Yeah, you can read um, while I'm explaining the lessons. So today's for our English phonetic and phonology class, we are going to talk about phonological representations. And here for this topic, I also put the topic related to syllable once again in order to recall our information about syllable. I I am sure that you have already understand about syllable and syllable note, and also you have done some exercise related to drawing the syllable note. So that here only for the recalling, and then maybe I'm not going explain. I'm not going to explain about syllable again once more, but we are going to see it for a while. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to share the PowerPoint. So whenever you see my PowerPoint in your Google Meet screen, would you please tell me that you see it? Yeah, please give the response. Okay, is it clear enough for the PowerPoint here? Is it clear? Okay, yeah. Okay, so today's topic is about phonological representations. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I remember that I have already uploaded the ebook for today's class for the phonetic and phonology, and I hope that you have read the book. So please read it. Just read it slowly and slowly so that you can understand. Yeah. Okay, so today's topic is about phonological representation. And as usual, if you have questions while I'm explaining the lesson, you may unmute your microphone and you may ask the question directly. Yeah, that's okay to interrupt me. Okay, now here today in uh, phonological representation, we have to understand its definition first. Yeah, I'm sure that when you learn new thing in your class, you always you always try to figure out what is it about. Yeah, and then you always eager to know about the topic uh, talk about. Yeah, so let's see here when we talk about phonological representations, we have to understand that talking about phonological representation means that we talk about the mental image in terms of which knowledge of a sound system that is couched. So it's about mental image. So it means that something that we keep here in our cognitions, and then we try to remember it. Just like we remember mathematics. 2 times 2 is 4. It is only in our mental image. Yeah, we never open the book in order to figure out 2 times 2 is 4. So this is the same with the mathematics. We only have to keep it in our cognition. Nah, so when we know that phonological representations are those mental image that we keep in our cognitions, then they are in terms of which knowledge of the sounds. So the mental image that we are going to keep in our mind, in our cognition, is only related to the sounds. Yeah, if the mathematics is related to the number, so here in phonology it is related to the sounds. So that here we understand that there are four part as the basic units of the phonological representations. So when we talk about phonological representation, we always remember that there are features, there are segments, there are syllables, and there are fit. So here we have four basic units of phonological representations. One of them have been learned before. There is syllables. We have already talked about it. So that we are going to talk about feature, segments, and fit, or we call it as a metrical grid. Yeah. So here, whenever you hear about phonological representation, you keep in your mind, you have mental image in your mind about these 4 basic units. Yeah, features, segments, syllable, and fit. Now let's see, we have features here. Yeah. In order to talk about the features, we have to see the 2 hypotheses related to features. This is about the features of sounds. Yeah, the first feature is segments are groups of feature. Of course, there are so many segments there, and then we understand that segments are group of feature. And then we can say that segments are indivisible elements. It means that this is the smallest unit, so you cannot divide it into another elements. Now let's see here. What is feature is actually, when we talk about feature here, of course, we talk about the feature of the sounds. Yeah, feature means that segments that are not ultimate, or we can say that it is a most primitive part or most primitive unit of the phonological structure. Yeah. So whenever we are going to analyze about the unit of sounds or the segment of sounds in one word, so it is our features. And the features are composed of smaller elements. For example, we have morpheme dog, for example. So the phoneme of the dog as phoneme p, phoneme e, phoneme g is the smallest element, so that it is also our features. And then there are also subsegmental, yeah, and the segmental building blocks are the features. Yeah, for example, here I give the example, the units of phonological structure that make up the segment. So this is our feature. Yeah, so here when we understand about the smallest elements and the combinations of the smallest element is our feature. And then why should we have to understand about the features in phonology and in phonetics? Yeah, we only study about the sounds, so why we have to know about the features? Now let's see here. When we learn about phonetic, when we learn about how to pronounce the sound, how to produce the sound by our vocal cord, by our airstream mechanisms. So here we have to understand that each of them, especially in phonetic, articulatory phonetic, will have the articulatory activities, and these articulatory activities will be coordinated by the features. So that it means that we can say it in a simple way that feature reflect the coordinated articulatory activities. So everything that relate to the producing of the sounds is also known as the feature reflex. And then we can see that features capture natural classes. It means that when we produce the sounds, we always do it in a natural way. Yeah. For example, when I say the sounds it means that I just release the air naturally. Yeah, I don't have to force the air. And then when we talk about features, why we have to understand about features? Because we see here in understanding and also in producing the sounds, the features allow us for precising understanding of the nature of allophonic variation, so that we understand that one word will have its allophone and the allophone will be sounded differently. Yeah, so that is why the feature is very important in our knowledge of sounds or in phonology. Now let's see here. I said before that features reflect coordinated activities of the articulatory. Yeah, articulatory means that you just release the ear from your lung, and then you just let the ear goes up to your airstream mechanism, and then the ear gets into your mouth cavity or your nasal cavity, and then you just let the ear release by mouth or release by the ear. So here there is coordinations activities when we produce the sounds. Let's see here. The first, we understand that speech is produced by a number of coordinated articulatory activities. What are articulatory activities? Of course, we have to understand the voicing, whether one word or one sound is voiced or voiceless. Yeah, when I say the vowel, for example, and we understand that all vowels and also all diphthongs are voiced. Yeah, some of consonants are voiced while others are voiceless. How do we know that the voicing? We just put our finger in our vocal cord here. Yeah, as you remember that if your vocal cord are vibrated, it means that you just produce your voice sound. Yeah, and then while you put your finger here in your vocal cord and there is no vibration at all, such as when we say s, or when we say z, is voiceless while z is voiced. Yeah, so when we say s, there is no vibration here, but when we say z, there is a vibration. So we understand about voicing. And then we also understand about our tongue positions. When I say E, and then my tongue position is in the high positions, it is tense. But when I say E, it is lax, and it is in hang position. Or when I say A, such as in the word pen, so we understand that A, our tongue position is mid. Yeah, and the tongue is lax, not tense anymore. And then we also understand about our lip rounding. Yeah, if you still remember that when we produce some sounds of vowel, such as vowel E, our lips is spreading, while when we say U, our lips is rounded, and when I say A, and then our lips is in neutral. So we understand about these articulatory activities coordinations. And then we understand that each feature is rooted in an independently controllable aspect of speech production. For example, when we see our voicing, you can see that the voice will be marked with minus and plus. It means that if it is plus voice, it means that the voice sound, and if it is minus voice, it means that voiceless sound. And in order to see tongue position, if it is plus high, it means that our tongue position is in high position, such as when we produce E. And then when you find that minus high, it means that the tongue position is in a low position or in neutral position. And then if we see our lip rounding plus round, it means that our lips will be rounded when we produce the sound, such as O. This is a plus rounded, and then or plus round. And then when we say E, it is minus round. So that each feature or each group of features defines a specific property of the segment. So each segment will define differently. Okay, let's see here our metric. Yeah, this is nothing. Okay, yeah, in this picture it is only nothing because it is our way to think. Yeah, now let's see, the metric is like this. If it is plus syllabic, it means that the sound is the sound or the word has syllable. And if it is minus consonantal, it means that no consonant at the syllable. Yeah. Or if it is sonorant, so it means that the sound will be sounded as a sonorant sounds. And if it is minus high or plus low, so it relates to our tongue. So here, plus syllabic minus consonant plus sonorant relate to the segment of consonant, the segment of vowel, or the segment of glide. While when we see high minus high plus low plus back or minus round, it means that we talk about the placement of the tongue. Yeah, remember that your tongue will be placed in a high, in a low, or in a back position. And then when you see that in our metric we have minus round or plus tense, yeah, it means that we talk about the lip rounding. Or if it is tense, whether your tongue is in a tense position, tense means that it is strong, or in a lax position. If it is lax, it means that the tongue is flexible, the tongue is soft, yeah, such as when we say so our tongue is lax. When we say e, our tongue is strong position, our tongue is hard, yeah. So we will see the differences here. And then the feature is also talk about the natural classes. Now here, our features divide our natural classes in order to produce the sounds. Yeah. If it is natural classes, so we understand about the central to phonological analysis. Yeah. Here we will see that whether the sound not only that individual occur as individual phonemes, such as phoneme p, phoneme b, or phoneme k, or phoneme g. Yeah, we can see that the sound is not only the individual phoneme that contrast in English, but we see it as the entire class of whether it is voice stop contrast with the class of voiceless stop. Yeah, so we are going to figure out whether it is voice or not, whether it is stop or not. Yeah. Now, because of that, then we will see the feature of the natural classes as voice that is contrastive, that not individual segment. Yeah, because when we see whether it is a voice, so sometimes it is because of the surrounding. Now let's see here. We see a vowel in English, whether a vowel front and back vowel. Yeah, it is only this is nothing. Yeah, so if you see the question mark here, it is nothing. There is nothing here. So I just put it as we have to think because we are questioning. Yeah. Now let's see here. Okay, wait. Okay, if we see the voice, we will see that all front vowel, yeah, we talk about vowel here, all front vowels are syllabic minus consonant, yeah, because it is a vowel, so there is no consonant, and of course plus sonorant, but because it is front vowel, there is no back in this sound. Yeah, it is impossible if it is front vowel and then we can say that it is a back vowel. No, there is no back vowel in front vowel. And then that is why if it is a front vowel, you might see that the syllable will have stress at the beginning. And then if you see back vowels here, back vowel is always plus syllabic. Can you see the mark here for the yellow one? Oh, I think I have to change it. No, I mean the color. Can you see it? Okay, wait, yeah. I forgot to change it. Okay, let's see here. So if it is our back vowel, of course, it will be contrasted. Wait. It will be contrasted to our front vowel, yeah. Okay. Now let's see here. If it is back vowels, so of course, a vowel will always be syllabic, yeah. If it is back vowel, it is plus syllabic. And minus consonantal, it is impossible if it is consonant. And it is also plus sonorant, yeah, because it is back, so it must be back vowel. But if you see from front vowel, it is minus back, yeah. So this is what we understand about the position of vowels in English between, we try to compare between front and back vowels. And then there is an allophonic variations. Here, in allophonic variation, it is not simply only the substitutions of one sound for another. Sometimes, when we talk about a consonant, we understand that consonant will be affected by the surrounding sound, especially if there is a vowel. But in allophonic variation, there is no substitutions for the sounds, yeah. And it is the environmentally conditions that change or specifications of a feature or features. So we talk about the conditions of one sound surrounding that affect to the sound itself, yeah, or that affect to the sound feature. Maybe the natural class will change, or maybe the other features will change because of the allophonic variations. Now let's see here. We are going to talk about the allophonic. Wait, yeah. I don't know what happened to material here. It is move by itself. Okay, now let's see here. Yeah, I think this is okay, yeah, as long as you understand it, okay? When I change its format, and then it also changed the content. Now let's see, here when we talk about allophonic variation, first we talk about liquid glide devoicing. Liquid glide, it is something that happened here in our glides. Now here, especially in English, when we talk about liquid glide devoicing, it means that both liquids and glides in English devoicing have voiceless allophones. Yeah, whether the sounds are liquid and whether the sounds are glide, they have voiceless allophones. In what conditions they have voiceless allophones? Yeah, they will have the voiceless allophones only after the syllable is in the positions of initial voiceless stop. So if it is initial, it means that at the first part, yeah, at the beginning, and then it is also after the voice allophone elsewhere. Now let's see here. We are going to see the conditions. The condition is like this. If it is liquids and glide, and if, wait, okay, I have to change it. Please change the color in your downloaded PowerPoint, yeah, so that it is easily to be seen. Okay, yeah, I think blue is good to see. Okay, let's see here. If the sounds, liquids and glides are sonorant sound, it then glides into voiceless sound. Yeah, so that in its syllabic, there is no syllabic at all. It is for our sonoran, ya. Okay, wait, I forgot what did I put here. Okay, only the line. Okay. And if the liquids and glide sounds are not syllabic or minus syllabic, it must have in its voiceless stop, it must become voice, it must have consonant. And if liquids and glide sounds are nasal sound, it means that in voiceless stop, it also minus continuant. So it means that it is stop. Yeah, there is no continue. And if the sounds of liquids and glides are voiced, yeah, if it is plus, it means that voiced. So that in its voiceless stop, it become minus delayed release. Yeah, so here, if it is voiced, so when we pronounce it and it becomes voiceless stop, it delayed release. It means that it stopped for a while. Yeah, but only slight stop. Okay, before I continue, is there any questions? Okay, yeah, before I continue too, I'm going to inform you that on December 20, we will have no class. So that I'm going, no, not 20, yeah. Today is Wednesday, right? Today is, okay, sorry. December 15, on December 15, we have no class and we are going to have a makeup class. We are going to have a makeup class, but the makeup class is based on your time. Do you have time for having makeup class on Thursday or Friday? If you are able to have makeup class on Friday, so we are going to have a makeup class on Friday, 24 December. But if you have time on Thursday, so we are going to have a makeup class on December 23rd. Yeah. Later, please inform me the time that you are able to have a makeup class. Yeah. Only one meeting. Okay. Oh yeah, Angel, are you at my class at British? No, yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so next week on December 15, we don't have any class, yeah, because I'm going to be at my hometown. I'm going to leave Jakarta this Friday. And actually, December 15 is my birthday. So I'm going to celebrate it with my family after more than 20 years, yeah. Okay, now here we are going to continue our class. So no question at all? No, okay. If you think that, yeah, funny. Okay, yeah. So if you think that I'm too fast in explaining the lesson, you may interrupt me to remind me to be more slowly in explaining. Yeah, to get slow. Okay, we have already talked about syllable, so I'm gonna skip talking about syllable, yeah, because we have already talked about it before, and then so we are going to talk about syllabic phonology, yeah. I also forget to change the color here. Angel, how many classes do you have this semester? Oh, 4 classes. Okay. Did I explain about syllabic phonology before? I think I have yeah, I think I have already explained about syllabic phonology. Yeah, heavy syllable and stress. Now we are going to talk about stress. Yeah. Talking about stress, it doesn't mean that we get stressed. No, we talk about when you say something in English, you are going to use your language like this: going down, going up, going down, going up. So it is not in a straight line, but it will be in a different curve. Yeah. So it means that there is a stress in the word. Yeah. Okay, let's see. We use this one for the beginning of the explanation. Okay. Now, when we talk about stress, we are going to relate it to the syllable. That is why when you draw the syllable note, and then you see from your dictionary, you look up the dictionary, and then you see the diacritic mark, yeah, diacritic marks like apostrophe, as the initial stress, and then primary, secondary, and so on and so on. So here, especially when we talk about the English nouns, yeah, English nouns are always being stressed. If it is English nouns, the stress will occur at the positions of penultimate syllable. What is penultimate? Penultimate is the second syllable before the last syllable. Yeah. For example, we have the word important. Ten is the last syllable. Port is the second last syllable. Yeah, this is the first syllable, the last syllable. The second syllable of, before the last syllable is our penultimate syllable. Yeah, in bahasa Indonesia we can say that penultimate syllable is silabel yang muncul di dua akhir sebelum silabel akhir. Silabel paling akhir, ya. Jadi itu kita sebut dengan penultimate, ya. And penultimate syllable usually occur as the heavy syllable. It is also occur as the heavy syllable, while if there are stress on the antepenultimate, antepenultimate means that the syllable on the last position, while penultimate is the syllable on the two before the last position. Yeah. So here, if we see the heavy syllable and the stress, the stress that have heavy occur as the penultimate syllable. Now you can see here, we mark the heavy syllable with the ha, and then the low syllable as the and then because it is here in this word we have three syllabic, yeah, the first, the second, and the last. Because it is only three, so the second syllable occur as the penultimate syllable, yeah. It is always before the last syllable. So this is our last syllable, this is our penultimate syllable, yeah. And then here, because it is a heavy syllable, the sound will always have the stress. Now let's see here. We are going to talk about the word stress. The word stress is perceived prominence, yeah, that we associated them with one or more syllables in the word. Now, if you see your transcriptions or phonetic transcriptions, you will find out that one word may be marked by more than stress, yeah, and the stress is marked by the use of the diacritic marker, such as the apostrophe mark, yeah. And here the syllable positions or the syllable contents is very important for us to understand, and it is very helpful to locate the stress elements. For example, to see whether the syllable is weak or not. And then the what about the formulation? Yeah, here formalizations of the stress show by giving the rest of the formalizations that we use, and we call it as a metrical fit. Yeah. So here the metrical fit or it foot is defined as the element of metrical structure that we build as the syllable. So when we build the syllable note, actually we build it by using different metrical structure. Okay, I don't think that we are going to talk about Latvian or French word, but you have to see that between English and other language have differences in placing the stress. And even in Bahasa Indonesia, but I don't know about the stress in Bahasa Indonesia. When we say the word buku, we always say it buku. It a little bit different when we use in English or in other language. Okay, now here, yeah, I gave you the example of stress patterns. Yeah, for example, in classic Arabic language, they have rightmost heavy syllable, yeah, and also leftmost syllable, because in Arabic we start reading the word from the right, yeah. And also it's almost the same with Russian and also the dialect of Russian. Now here, the main stress initial in English is not the new one, but also in English we also find that the sound is not only being stressed in the initial part, but also in the secondary and the tertiary part, yeah, and also the other language. Okay, here also our example of the other language that have heavy syllable, yeah. Okay, and you can see it in the book, yeah. Now let's see here. We are going to talk about the other diversity of stress in English. We can see it from its principle, yeah. The first is we talk about its boundedness, yeah. The boundedness means that the distance between the constituents head and also the boundary that is restricted to one element. Yeah. For example, if you find that the coda, or if you find that the syllable note are bounded, sometimes it's also unbounded. Now, and then we have it headedness. Here, the constituents are either right-headed or left-headed. Yeah, if it has its foot level, for example, in this word, yeah, so we only have two syllable note, and if it is in word level, we can see it from our rightmost or from our leftmost. Yeah, here. And then the quantity or the sensitivity occur as the heavy syllables that attract the stress. Remember that the stress is always found in the heavy syllable. And then we also have to know about its exhaustivity. Yeah, it means that the elements that are exhaustively purged into higher constitution. It means that whether when sounds are exhaustively purging in its stress or not. And also we are going to see it's a device It means that whether one sounds are extra metricality or not. So here we have to see the peripheral elements that are very excluded from the root structure of the sounds. Yeah, and it is usually final syllables that are marked as the extra metrical, not the initial. And also we see its directionality. It means that the footing proceeds from left to right or from right to left. Yeah. So we are going to put the syllable note whether from the left to the right or whether from the right to the left. Okay, so here we can conclude that the patterning of phonological unit mostly based on the general elements and also its principle that are not the same each other. And then we can see it's applicable to the study of any human language sounds. Yeah, whatever the sounds that you learn, you will see that the sounds have its phonological representations. And also the features are grouped into segment size constituent, and then we can say that the segments are grouped or around the vowels or around the syllabic constituent or around different features. And the syllables that we already known so far relate to each other in terms of relative prominence. So that we can say that interacting with the feature and the segmental process means that we have a limited set of parameters of the sounds that we use for understanding the syllabifications and metrification of the sound. So you know if the sound is voice, so it counts the tongue, whether it is lax or whether it is tense or whether the lips are round or not. Yeah. Well, I think that's all for our phonological representations. If is there any questions? Mm-hmm. Yes. And then we just recall a little bit about our syllable. Everything is clear? Okay, yeah. So we are going to return to AdLink. Whenever you have question, you may type the question on AdLink so that when I explain it, everyone will see the answer. Yeah. Okay, class, thank you very much. We return to AdLink and you may leave the Google Meet. Thank you. Yeah.